So Oliver, it's a pleasure to be with you today. We have an important topic to discuss, which is about GBS transformation, which is critical as regards to current context. So my first question to you is, what are the main drivers from your perspective behind the GBS transformation?
Yeah, thanks, Cecilia. Thanks for having me. I think there are a couple of key drivers in what we see today. I think one is definitely the macroeconomic environment. I think we're in a situation since a couple of years where there's a lot of pressure, I think, in terms of cost. But there's also changing things. There's geopolitical changes, I think, which impact, I think, enterprises. There's tariffs, there's regulatory changes. So a lot of change happening, which puts pressure on cost, but which also puts pressure, for example, on the supply chain of enterprises, because things needs to be more agile, more data-driven, more predictable, and just faster in terms of reaction time. The other thing is consumer behavior is changing. I think that's also the way the people buy, the way people search for products, I think, is just different. I think, and that is accelerating in the last couple of years, which require adoption in the enterprise. And last but not least, there is the technology revolution. I think what we see today with AI, and specifically generative and agentic AI, is impacting the enterprise. At least there's a lot of discussions on how to leverage those technologies to create more value for customers and become more efficient. And I think GBS today is not organized, often focused on cost or just functional scope, is not organized to drive that enterprise transformation or support it in the right way, and that's the opportunity for us ahead.
Yeah, it resonates a lot with what we observe in the CPG industry. So for you, what are the key success factors for a GBS transformation really works?
Yeah, there are a couple of things to share. I mean, first of all, it's about the vision in the enterprise, I think, and the strategy behind GBS. And that comes from the board, that comes from the CEO in my point of view. It's about positioning GBS as a value creator, as a change catalyst in the organization. I think that's, first of all, important to make that clear and to align the rest of the organization around that vision and strategy. The second is certainly governance. Where do you position a GBS? In my view, it should be positioned on board level, peer-to-peer with the business, because it's not anymore about efficiency and cost, it's really about value generation. Okay? And the third topic, which is important for me, is alignment. And through the vision, we sometimes drive that alignment, but I think there's more comprehensive roadmaps required between, for example, the IT organization and the GBS organizations to really support with technology the GBS transformation. I think that is, three things which, in my view, are very important to make such a transformation successful.
And maybe I would add the trust is also a foundational element when you are handing over the key of your business operations.
Definitely.
So as regards to this context, how Capgemini leverage its full breadth of capabilities to support our clients in building and scaling those GBS models?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I would like to mention the latest acquisition Capgemini made. I think we acquired recently WNS, a BPM pure play company, for 3.3 billion. Big investment. With that, we create a leader in intelligent operations, which is really what all GBS is about. And in that context, I think combining, this acquisition with the remaining group capabilities is creating a big benefits for our customers. And it starts with, I think, our strong consulting capabilities. To that, we add, deep industry expertise, through our industry teams, but also the process industry expertise we have today in business services and in WNS. And to that, we add, very importantly, our technology and data capabilities and cloud capabilities, which are essential to implement an AI-first strategy and AI-driven GBS. And last but not least, I think engineering is another key topic, because it's not yet at the heart of GBS, but more and more companies think about extending the scope and also looking basically from product design to actually implementation and the related supply chain, how those things can be connected.
Okay, so we have a unique position and all in our hands to support our client. So, Oliver, how is AI, and particularly Gen AI, agentic AI, is impacting GBS transformation and business operations?
So I would say clearly AI, generative AI and agentic AI is a big accelerator in GBS transformations, for sure. Because it enables us, I think, to get, on one side, more efficient, but also really accelerate the shift towards value unlock, okay? And I give an example. I think now we are able, with AI and Gen AI and agentic, to automate a large part of an end-to-end process, really taking cognitive tasks and make them pretty much autonomous. But we're also able to implement Gen AI assistance, which makes our human workers much more insightful and provide better customer experience back to our clients' customers, so which is today absolutely critical. And it also allows us in that context to analyze end-to-end value chains, okay? And we did that for a global CP company very recently, helping them to transform their global customer value chain, basically from planning to cash collection. We built for them global operations across 7 global hubs, and we infused AI at the core of their processes, made their processes more intelligent, made their workflow more intelligent, and deliver, at the end of the day, significant business outcomes back to the organization. And those are twofold. There are on one side, obviously, effectiveness and cost, but on the other side, customer experience and revenue generation. So very important, I think, and those technologies accelerate that move.
Yeah, definitely, and we see a demand from the client now shifting from KPIs, so key performance indicator, to KPOs, key performance outcome, measuring the success indeed on customer satisfaction or revenue growth. So what strategies can help to align functions across business units? And how especially IT functions can adapt to changes when some such initiatives are taken by the other functions.
Yeah, I think we come back to the original discussion where we talked about the vision and the strategy of the enterprise. I think it starts really there where things need to be aligned. And IT is essential, I think, the IT organization, to make intelligent operations happen, okay, and to support, I think, the roadmap of an intelligent operation and GBS transformation. So the alignment of both is very important, so that you have no conflicting roadmaps. And I think when you get the whole enterprise aligned around value creation topic, okay, about innovation, and about delivering insights, agility, I think just building cross-functional teams between IT and ops and business is essential, I think, to get those roadmaps implemented and to implement them fast, because it's all about scale at the moment and doing it fast.
My takeaway is an enterprise-wide transformation, all of this, and it can help organization to break silos, because we are talking about cross-functional and end-to-end operations. And definitely it requires some cross-functional teams, transparent governance, and I would say a culture of co-creation. So with the right partner, all of this can be achieved, I do believe. Here we are going to talk about the future of GBS, because traditionally it starts with function like finance and accounting and HR. So what are new areas that are now being integrated?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a dynamic environment today. And what we see is through intelligent operational GBS transformation is the ambition to cover end-to-end processes and end-to-end value chains in the enterprise. And therefore more and more functions get actually embedded into GBS. That goes from, for example, from finance HR towards supply chain and procurement. I think this is definitely a trend, because the connection from a customer perspective is very important to drive customer experience and customer impact. Those functions go closely together. The other thing is about marketing. Sales operations are more and more embedded into GBS as well. And then very forward-looking, I mean, we touched on that, I think, in the previous video as well. I think engineering services are also considered. And some really go one step further and integrate IT as well and build basically an organization that is full stack, that is managing the business process as well as the IT, so that we can combine, I think, even better, I think, the roadmaps and the development required to make those organizations really value creators in the enterprise.
Okay, so really a broad range of function and really a full transformation in the companies. How do you envision the future of GBS transformation in terms of scope, technology, or business impact?
Yeah, first I think it's absolutely mandatory. There is no other way, in my view, to shift today. I think use these shared services and build on them and create global GBS organizations that are focusing on value creation. There is no doubt. And I think in the future what I see is really those organizations becoming essential in terms of helping companies to drive competitive advantage, to drive innovation, to identify new revenue streams, but also become more agile, more customer focused, more insight driven, and so on and so forth. So it's becoming a strategic powerhouse within the enterprise and not anymore a cost center. And I think this move is, a lot of companies are on the journey, and I think in a couple of years we will see this more and more maturing and getting, I think, implemented. Those who do it will have a competitive advantage, in my view.
And we start to see some example of building such hubs with clients, and technology plays really a central role into that. So thank you, Oliver, for this great discussion around GBS transformation. We see that it's an exciting moment to support our client in this value journey. And our role with Capgemini, with all our capabilities, is to make it real.
Exactly. Let's make it real. Thank you.